There's a line being drawn right now in the spirit realm. It's invisible, sure, but it's incredibly real. It's not about politics, it's not about religion, and you can't even see it with your eyes. But it's there, without a doubt, separating those who will be taken up from those who will be left behind. And here's the thing that might shock you. This one sign, the thing that actually marks the true rapture line, it's already appeared. Most people just didn't even notice it. You see, everyone's talking about the end times and all the events that are supposed to happen, blood moons and global disasters. But what if the real dividing line isn't something happening up in the sky? What if it's something happening in our hearts? What if the one sign that actually matters more than anything else isn't some headline you see on the news, but a holy shift, a quiet realignment that heaven sees and recognizes, even if the rest of the world doesn't have a clue? This sign, it's spiritual, it's subtle, and it's deeply personal. And tragically, we've been ignoring it. The church is wide awake when it comes to controversy, but it's sound asleep when it comes to conviction. That's exactly why this message isn't just another prophecy breakdown. It's a wake-up call, because the rapture line isn't just coming, it's already forming right now. And this one sign is the key to knowing exactly where you stand. You might think you're on the right side of it, but are you really, truly on the right side? If you're ready to discover the one sign that marks the true rapture line and find out how to make sure that you haven't already ignored it, then you need to stick around until the end. Because what you learn in this message could literally separate your eternity from someone else's. So let's dive right in. Before the rain even touched the ground, Noah had already shut the ark's door tight. It's interesting to think about how God never waits for the chaos to begin. Before he makes a move, he always draws a line first. It's a line that separates those who actually listen from the crowd that's just standing around watching. The ark's door was way more than just wood and pitch. It was a spiritual marker, a clear division between salvation and destruction. That same pattern, it's repeating itself today, even if we can't see it with our own eyes. The blood on the doorposts in Egypt wasn't just some ancient ritual or tradition. It was a precise instruction, meant to mark those who were under obedience. While death was sweeping through the streets, there was a spiritual boundary, a line it couldn't cross. That kind of line is still being drawn by God, even now. Only now it's invisible. And the most terrifying part of it all? Many people don't even realize that they're already on the outside of that line. One seemingly small choice today could determine everything tomorrow. Moving into the book of Revelation, we see the seal of the chosen, a mark that's unseen by human eyes, but fully recognized up in heaven. It's not about religiosity, but about alignment. God has always made a crystal clear distinction between those with surrendered hearts and those who are just going along with the flow. It's almost as if the world is one big stage, but behind the curtains, the final cast is already being decided. Today, that line is being drawn again. It has no color, it has no scent, but it's there all the same between those who prepare and those who just observe, between those who pray and those who just talk. It's a spiritual crack that's deepening beneath our feet, formed by actions that no one sees. But heaven sees it. And the strange part is that many people are just too distracted to even notice. Yet that line has a sign, and it's already starting to glow quietly. Most people expect the sign of the rapture to be something loud and obvious. Maybe a trumpet sound, a flash in the sky, or some dramatic global event. But what if the true sign isn't something that's out there, but something that's in here, inside us? Deep within, there's a pull, a quiet call to obey, to purify ourselves, to wake up. It's not about joining a movement or changing churches. It's about responding to a whisper that stirs your soul. That whisper is louder than any thunder for those who are actually listening. Jesus painted this picture clearly in Matthew 24 verses 42 to 44. Therefore, keep watch. Why? Because it's not about knowing the exact hour, but about being ready in your heart. Then, in Matthew 25, he goes even deeper. 10 virgins, all waiting, all aware. But only 5 were truly prepared. Their oil wasn't just about lamps. It was about their lifestyle. It was about the kind of inner life that burns bright even when no one's watching. That's the line. The division between performance and true preparation. This sign isn't something that's visible in church attendance or religious talk. It's seen in how someone responds to correction, how they guard their mind, what they chase when no one's watching. Obedience and purity don't exactly trend on social media, but they echo in eternity. Some people feel the call and start waking up in the middle of the night, praying, fasting, repenting. Others feel absolutely nothing and just keep scrolling through their phones. The line isn't marked by the sky. It's marked by your soul's direction. The rapture isn't just a moment. It's a movement that's already underway. And the strange part is that that movement feels like discomfort. It feels like a burden for holiness, a grief over sin, a longing to be close to God again. If you've felt that lately, you're not alone, because this inner alarm is the real signal. But what happens when people ignore that signal altogether? Let's be honest here. Most of us were trained to look up at the sky, not within our own hearts. We were taught to expect headlines, natural disasters, wars, or some big prophetic explosion. But rarely were we told to examine the silence. The Spirit doesn't always shout. Sometimes he whispers, and in our addiction to noise, that whisper gets drowned out by the constant scroll, the endless updates, the busyness that keeps us comfortably numb. Modern culture thrives on distractions. Notifications, deadlines, entertainment. They flood our senses and mute our discernment. That's the real danger. While we're waiting for signs and wonders, we miss the subtle shift that's happening in our spirit. It's like trying to hear a love song while you're standing in the middle of heavy traffic. The message is there, but the volume of our lifestyle buries it. And that's how the sign was missed. Not because it wasn't given, but because we weren't quiet enough to actually receive it. Jesus warned us about this in Matthew 24 verse 37. As it was in the days of Noah, so it will be. In Noah's time, people were eating, drinking, marrying, living their best lives, completely unaware of the countdown that was ticking away in the background. They weren't necessarily evil. They were just distracted. And that's the scary part. The line isn't missed by the rebels, but by the busy. Spiritual sleep doesn't feel like sin. It just feels like routine. We looked for thunder in the heavens, but we missed the whisper in our souls. That whisper, for many, still comes at 2 a.m. in the quiet moments during worship or even in moments of random conviction. But every time it's ignored, our heart hardens just a little bit more. And while we think we're waiting for a sign, the sign is actually waiting for us to notice it. And if we don't, something even more dangerous begins to unfold. There's a quiet separation that's unfolding right now. Not in headlines, not on stages, but deep in the spirit realm. It doesn't come with flashing signs or breaking news, but it's more real than anything we can see with our eyes. You can sense it in conversations, in worship gatherings, even in the quiet of your own soul. Some people are being drawn into a season of deep surrender, while others feel strangely untouched, like a spiritual earthquake is happening all around them. This shift is invisible, absolutely, but the fault line is growing under our very feet. And this division, it's not what we expect it to be. It's not about who claims to be a Christian or who wears the right label. It's happening in living rooms and in pulpits alike. One spouse begins fasting and seeking God fervently, while the other rolls their eyes. One church is burning with a hunger for holiness. Another waters down the truth for comfort. Even longtime friends are drifting apart, not because of any offense, but because their spiritual frequencies are no longer aligned. This isn't just a difference in personality. It's the evidence of a divine filter that's quietly sorting hearts. God is calling his people higher, to wake up, clean house, and walk set apart. Those who feel the call start noticing things that they used to ignore. They lose their appetite for shallow entertainment, gossip, and compromise. They find themselves weeping in prayer, craving silence, craving scripture. It's not about legalism at all. It's about sensitivity. But here's the tension. Others around them seem completely unbothered, as if everything is normal. That contrast isn't a coincidence. It's the line that's deepening between those who are responding to the Spirit and those who are resisting him. The separation isn't something that's going to happen in the future. It's happening right now, but it doesn't look like war or disaster. It looks like distraction, disinterest, and delay. One heart is convicted by a whisper, while another is untouched by a sermon. One person is repenting over secret sins. The other is justifying them. And the scary part is that you can stand in the same room as someone and be on completely opposite sides of that line. And if we're not careful, that line will move so far that crossing back over it feels absolutely impossible. Most people don't realize that delay is dangerous. Not because God is impatient, but because time hardens the heart. The longer someone ignores the nudge of the Spirit, the easier it becomes to justify their position. But the truth is simple. The line between saved and lost doesn't wait for convenience. Like the door of Noah's Ark or the shut door in Luke 13 verse 25, there comes a moment when God himself closes access, and once he shuts that door, no one can open it. Jesus warned us not just about events, but also about timing. He said, "When the master of the house gets up and shuts the door, not if, but when." That means that a decision is coming, and that the line is moving toward finality. It's not about fear at all. It's about clarity. Every small compromise, every ignored conviction, every delay to obey, these are all decisions. Decisions that, brick by brick, build the wall that will soon stand between two eternal realities. Think about how easy it is to postpone surrender. I'll pray more when life calms down. I'll break that bad habit next year. I'll get serious when things get worse. But those delays come with a price. And it's usually our sensitivity to the Spirit. You don't feel the urgency anymore. The alarms stop sounding. And suddenly, the line is no longer faint. It's final. This is how people end up on the wrong side of the door. Not through rebellion, but through hesitation. Every delay is a decision. And every decision draws that line deeper. And while we tell ourselves that there's still time, the Spirit is whispering, "Move now," before the silence becomes permanent. Because even though the door isn't closed yet, it will be. And once it is, the cries won't change its status. But is it too late for someone who's just now realizing that they're standing in the danger zone? The beauty of God's mercy is that as long as you feel the weight of conviction, it means that the door is still open. The line hasn't sealed you out yet. There's still breath in your lungs, still time to shift sides. Some people think that they've gone too far, that they've waited too long. But if you can still feel that conviction, then heaven is still calling you. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being willing. And willingness is enough for God to pull you back across that line. The act of returning doesn't require some big ceremony. It starts with a whisper, "God, I'm tired of being numb." From there, it becomes a movement. Repentance, surrender, renewed vigilance. It might look like deleting some things, canceling some plans, silencing certain voices. It might mean going back to prayer with a broken heart, opening the Bible with fresh hunger, or confessing what you've kept hidden for so long. These aren't just rituals. They're realignments, and every one of them shifts your heart closer to the light. Many people are afraid to cross back because they fear rejection or feel disqualified. But the truth is that God specializes in lost causes. He leaves the 99 for the one. He opens the arms of the Father to the prodigal son, not with questions, but with celebration. The key is movement. You don't have to sprint. A single step in the right direction, from compromise to conviction, is enough to start crossing back. But that window won't stay open forever, because this line isn't about where you're standing physically. It's about what you're following. You can sit in a pew every Sunday and still be on the wrong side of that line if your heart is chasing comfort instead of Christ. But if you're following him, even limping, even crawling, you're moving towards safety. The trumpet hasn't sounded yet. That means that there's still time to reposition your life. But soon, that time will run out. There's a line running through this very moment, invisible to our eyes, but fully visible to heaven. It's not marked by what we say, but by what we follow. And as you've heard today, this one sign, the one that marks the true rapture line, isn't coming someday. It's already here. The silence in your spirit, the lack of conviction, the routine without intimacy. Those are the warnings that we've been missing. But if you still feel that gentle tug in your heart, that's proof that it's not too late. The Spirit is still calling. you can still cross back. Not by pretending, not by performing, but by surrendering, by choosing the side of light, when everything in this world tries to keep you in the shadows. The line is still moving, but soon it won't be. So, let me ask you, where are you standing? Are you following Christ or just admiring him from a distance? Are you ready or just comfortable? Don't let this message be just another video that you watch and then forget about. Let it be the moment that everything changed for you. If you know that you're being called, write in the comments right now, I choose the side of the light, because that's how you cross the line while there's still time. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications, because this is just the beginning of what the Spirit wants to reveal to you in this powerful time.